I'm sharing this with you guys because I don't want you to go through the same thing that I've been going through for the past month. Today's topic is 3 reasons and 3 examples as to why giving yourself rest is so important. Hi, I'm xxotomi. Welcome to my channel. If you're subscribed, then thank you for subscribing. And if you're new, then welcome to the channel. Before we get started, I want to go ahead with some announcements. First is that I'm turning this Saturday sit-down series into a Creating Her diary, where I'm just showing you guys or telling you guys the things I've learned over this past week, and I'm sharing it with you guys so you don't have to go through what I've been through, or you can reflect with me on the things I'm doing to make myself a better person every day. And then thing 2 is that we surpassed 100 subscribers and we're currently at 133, I believe. And so I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so thankful that you guys are subscribing and you guys are liking my channel. Hopefully we keep growing. I went ahead and got myself a little gift, which is this little necklace here for the 100 subscribers mark, and I can show you guys. So I have that. And then we have our current state of the union. If you don't know what current state of the union is, it's basically when I say what's in and what's out for the week, and that's based off of what I've been through during the week. So the 2 things that are in, first is getting yourself milestone gifts. So making sure that you celebrate yourself at different points of your journey, whether it's a fitness journey or a YouTube journey, whatever you're doing, or even with like your grades. If you're achieving the goals that you said you would achieve, then you should reward yourself in some way. And then is trying new things. That's the second thing that's in. And then what's out is going back into the past and reminiscing on the past, especially if it's like a negative past, versus focusing on the present and the future. That is out. And what else is out is not doing a skincare routine at night, because I've been kind of struggling with that and I'm getting better, but it's a work in progress. So without further ado, let's get into our topic about resting. Resting is so important even when you're actively chasing your goals. Our society right now is so focused on hustle culture, which is showing up for yourself every day and grinding every day and being motivated and disciplined, which is not a bad thing. But the issue is that we don't really show the part where you're resting and taking care of yourself. Hustle culture should really be able to show a balance of those things, because if you do not focus on both the grind but also the rest, then you aren't able to recuperate and continue going along your journey. So reason number 1 is resting gives you the energy to continue pursuing your dreams. I've noticed that whenever I go all in on a new project or a new idea, I tend to go all in and I focus on that thing all day, and then the next day, if I continue, then I focus on that thing the whole day. And by day 3, I'm starting to feel a bit burned out, or maybe I feel like, oh, I've worked so hard, I need a little break. But that break becomes a full day of rest versus maybe a couple hours, because those 2 first days that I was, again, trying this new journey, I went full 100%. It's not to say that you should not go 100% when you're going after your goals, because that shows that you're passionate about them. But instead, you should be able to give yourself some balance. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed the same pattern in yourselves, but if you pay attention to the days that maybe you have finals week and you're studying and studying and studying before then, once you take that test afterwards, you feel like you need to crash because you've just been staying up all night studying, or you've been focused on, always thinking about that test, and you haven't given yourself a break mentally or physically. So when you take a break from your everyday grind, it allows your body to reset and say, okay, we were working on this and now we get a little bit of a break. Now we can relax a little bit, because you may not notice this immediately, but let's say that you're going towards a new workout goal before the year ends. You are doing this workout and you're showing up for yourself, and you may not notice it at the time, but there is pressure on yourself based on the timeline that you've given yourself. Even if you don't give yourself a timeline, if you're working and working every day, and you rarely give yourself the time to have a break, you're going to experience burnout at some point. So for the last few days, I've set a goal for myself each day that I want to reach in terms of my editing, for example. And so I decided that I want to edit 7 hours a day, and I've decided to make sure that it's not super strict, because I know that for myself, if I have a super strict schedule, I won't be able to work the way I want to work, and I'll feel too much pressure. So now that I have the goal and the amount of time I want to work on that goal during the day, I also set up the time that I'm not working on my goals. So everything outside of that 7 hours is the time that I'm saying, okay, I have time to sleep for 8 hours, and then I have 9 hours to do my eating or shower, like get ready for the day, have fun, relax, maybe take a nap. Because I decided to set out the time specifically, my brain was able to realize, okay, even though we're working on this goal for 7 hours a day, we also have 9 hours of free time outside of our sleeping. So that means that I don't have to feel too stressed about the fact that I'm working so much. I can give myself a bit of a break. And then again, with my little schedule that I made, it'll be I set up blocks for myself. And so I have a 2-hour block, 2-hour block, and a 3-hour block. And so based on my energy level, I'll make sure that, okay, I do 2 hours and then I need to rest, or I want to go on a walk, or I want to eat something. And so I take a break for maybe an hour. And then I do a 3-hour block if I'm feeling it. And then I do that and I continue. I take a break. Things like that to make sure that as I'm going through my day, I don't feel burnt out. That can be totally different for you. If sitting down for 7 hours works for you, then go ahead and do that, and make sure you give yourself a break afterwards. That break can look like anything that you want, even if it's like for a workout example as well, because I want to give you guys examples of how you can incorporate it into your own goals. If you're exercising, let's say that you start out and you're like, I want to do some type of physical activity 7 times a day, because I used to be like that. I used to think, be moving every day, no breaks, which is really bad. But let's say that you have that goal of 7 times a day, you're doing some type of physical activity. Then you want to make sure that if you're doing it for a certain amount of time, like it's not too much time to where your body will feel exhausted after that first week. So maybe it's 30 minutes of physical activity on 3 days of the week, and then you can do an hour on certain other days versus, doing an hour, hour and a half each day, each week, because your body will get tired. But if you are exercising, just like a note for out there, you should be taking rest days. You should have at least one rest day during the week where you can stretch, relax, let your body and your muscles build up and repair themselves so that you don't, again, feel burnt out mentally and physically. Reason number 2 as to why you should be prioritizing rest and allowing yourself to rest is because it sets you up for the future. Later in the future, when you have that goal, you will be able to look at yourself and say, wow, I'm able to balance out my life perfectly. I can set up time for me to go and hang out with my friends and have fun or sleep. But I also know that I want to get this assignment done at this certain time. And so I've created this study schedule for myself, and I can balance the two. Or I know that I want to work out at this time, and I want to be able to have time to hang out with my friends at this time or sleep at this time. And so I know how to balance the two. If you don't prioritize rest in the beginning, then your body won't be able to comprehend the fact that you do have time to rest. It's just like how people say that you should create a diet that works for you at the beginning of your workout journey. Completely outside of bulking or losing weight specifically, but if you just want to focus on getting healthier and so you're doing normal workouts, if you go and cut your diet down and you're doing these normal workouts, when you get to the future and you are still doing those normal workouts, you're having fun, you're feeling great, but then you want to start eating the way before the diet, you are going to feel confused because your body is not going to understand, oh, but we've been eating this small amount of food. Why do you want to go back to our pre-diet selves? How are we going to handle that? How are we going to make it equal in our body again? And so what people recommend to do is that you eat, again, and this is if you're not bulking or if you're not trying to specifically lose weight, you just want to get more healthy, and then it'll happen along the process. People tell you that you should take your food and create a meal that that when you're done with your diet, when you're done with your workout journey, then you can continue eating that way in the future. That's why people say that you shouldn't demonize having desserts or snacks, because if you know that you yourself, you love those things and you cut them out of your life, and you in the future, when you want to start eating those things again, you're going to feel confused. You're going to feel like, oh, I can't have it. Or you might go back and eat it, and then your body will know how to regulate those sugars or like those proteins, whatever it is that you took out of your diet. So the same thing goes here. If you do not give yourself time to rest now, then in the future, you're going to have this schedule made out for yourself, and eventually you're going to get so tired of it. Eventually you're going to be tired of the daily cycle or having to stress out about this thing that you've achieved, but it's always on your mind. You're going to be focused on those things in a more of a negative light because now you don't know how to incorporate rest. It also goes into a feeling of not feeling like you have the time to rest because you did not incorporate that into your schedule from the beginning. So prioritizing rest now sets you up for the future simply because it allows you to have that mental relaxation where you know that you're allowed to take breaks, which goes into number 3. So reason number 2 was all about setting yourself up schedule-wise. That way, when you go and start incorporating rest in the future, you don't feel overwhelmed as to how rest is going to fit into that schedule. But now it's about your mental and emotional health. Creating a better relationship with rest will help you have a stronger relationship with yourself. It'll teach you to respect yourself and respect your body and respect your energy. Oftentimes, we can fall into the negative mindset that because we aren't showing up and performing as well as we were maybe a week ago, where you were showing up every single day, you didn't need a break, you were able to grind and focus and work hard, and then you get to the point the next week where you aren't feeling as energetic as before, then oftentimes we fall into a trap of bullying ourselves or being like, oh, you're so useless, like why are you so tired all of a sudden, why do you need rest all of a sudden? But that is completely normal. We are human beings, we're not robots. We're supposed to be able to have breaks and work on ourselves at a good pace that suits our own bodies and suits our own lifestyles. And so I say that the relationship is important because just like how relationships with people need balance, when you're in a relationship with someone and you're constantly around them and you don't give yourself a break from them, it can cause you to feel a bit smothered. Just like how if you're constantly working on your goal and you don't give yourself time away to relax, then you're going to feel smothered by that goal. And that can, one, create a negative relationship between you and that goal, but also have a negative relationship between you and rest. Because if you don't have a good relationship with rest, now you're thinking in your head, one, I don't deserve rest. I didn't need it before. Why do I need it now? But then it's also that, how am I going to have this rest? How am I going to incorporate this rest into my life? Because I'm not used to it. And if you aren't able to give yourself the grace to rest and relax and recuperate and make yourself feel better after a long day of working, or, a good week of working hard towards your goal, that relationship is going to crumble. That relationship with yourself is going to crumble, because now you're comparing yourself to old you who could, again, work super hard, and then current you who maybe just needs a little break. American society does not prioritize vacations or resting time, or even lunch breaks aren't as fulfilling as they really could be. And that's just a societal thing. But for us individually, we have to make sure that we allow ourselves to take a break from that and realize that we worked hard and we deserve to have certain breaks, whether it's just a 30-minute break and, that's what you need to keep going during your day, or if it's a 2-hour break, 3-hour break that you really need in order to feel like you aren't focused only on that one goal or giving all your energy to your job. Resting is one of those things that seems really small, but it really deserves so much more attention, because with good rest, then we're able to really conquer the world. It makes absolute sense why when you get a good night's sleep, you can wake up feeling amazing and you're like, I can go exercise, I want to eat healthy, I want to drink water today, I want to feel good. Versus if you don't sleep, and that's the basic form of rest, but if you don't sleep and you're feeling drowsy, you want to eat junk food to get some quick sugars, to get some good quick carbs, to give yourself energy throughout the day, or even a bit of a will to live. And so I'll use this time to give you guys examples of ways to rest, because it will be different for everybody. For some people, it could be resting is doing yoga, or doing just some normal stretching, or going on a walk out in nature without your phone. For some people, resting could be going and, baking something for yourself, or baking something for your friends, or inviting your friends over to watch a movie or just talk. That could be a form of rest. For some people, like me, resting is sleeping in my bed and not touching anything, or even just laying down and watching Netflix, or just taking naps for 3-4 hours. That is resting for me, because I know that at certain times I just need more time to lay down and relax. And I'll say that when you are able to prioritize rest in your day and make it part of your schedule, it's so much easier to continue on with your goal consistently. Resting is not just your body, it's not just your mind, but it's also your soul. If you're doing something that makes you feel happy, again, baking or taking a nap or hanging out with your friends, then you're able to kind of feel energy to continue on. That's more than just your physical energy or your mental energy. I'm working more on incorporating rest in my daily life, as I've said, because I've really just been focusing on this for the past 3 days. And I'm working more on making sure that I allow myself to say, okay, I really need a break. I'm going to let myself have this break. So I hope you guys do the same. I hope you guys are able to listen to this and really think about the ways that you can incorporate rest in your daily life. That way you're not feeling burnt out, because that's the worst thing, if you're working so hard towards your goal and you're doing such a great job and then you just fall off the wagon. So I want to close out by going over the current state of the union and giving you guys something to try this week. So thing 1, trying new things. I went to a shopping center yesterday, and I've been there 3 times before, but this is the 4th time I was going, and 2 of those times I went to this one ramen place and I ate the same thing I'd gotten before. And this time I was like, okay, I should really try something new. I should try to just go out of my comfort zone and try something new. And I've noticed that whenever I try something new and I go into it with a good attitude, I always end up enjoying it. So try something new this week, whether it's a new dessert or a new snack, or it is you going on a different route to work, or on a different route to meet your classes, or even if it's talking to a classmate that you haven't talked to before. Try something new and see how it goes. Let me know how it goes if you do. And then the other thing is getting yourself milestone gifts. I'm sure that you've reached some type of milestone either last week or in the past month that you feel like you could celebrate that you maybe haven't celebrated. And I heard someone say that you shouldn't celebrate with food. And so I've been trying to do that less, because when you think about it, like, you can order something. Let's say, okay, I'll say that if you're celebrating with food and it's something that you've wanted for like a long time and you haven't tried it, that's totally cool. But if it's something that you know that you can always have access to, then maybe I would refrain and get something that is a bit more tangible, and like, you know, you won't eat it and then expel it a couple hours later, which is why I went and got this necklace, because I was like, okay, I can wear this all the time. It can be a little reminder. Like, it felt like a good milestone gift for me to have. And then for my elaboration on what's out, I've been going over a past friendship that I had that I cut off, and I'm just trying to like stop going into the past. And I'm gonna say that I've cut off the emotion officially today, because it was Sunday. I did like a lot of reflection and meditation, and like I asked God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, I asked, and I was like, please, like, just remove this from my life because it's causing me stress and emotional distress right now. And so letting go of the past, whatever you can do, whether like you have your own religion or you have your own like journaling methods or whatever you can do that will help you just let go of the past and release. Even if it's like, it doesn't have to be people either. It can be like you made a mistake and you still feel upset at yourself for doing it or making that mistake, then you can like just let go of the past. It's already happened. It cannot affect you anymore. If it does come back to bite you in the butt, then what did you do wrong is my question. But I think that like you can really just let the past be the past and focus on the present and the future. That way you can continue progressing. You don't have to worry about what you did. Instead, you're working about what you are doing. And then not doing my skincare. That is such, it's like, it's one thing that I know I can do. It's just I tend to get in my head about it, and it's later at night. It's like I'm in a race with lazy Tommy and Tommy that wants to get stuff done, and I just need to beat her to the bathroom before she gets to the bed. Like, that's where my mind is. I need to get to the bathroom before I'm too tired to wash my face and I just fall asleep, because I don't want to like have to deal with acne scars anymore. I want to just take care of my skin consistently and see how it goes. So I'm gonna try it this week. I'm gonna try my best, and I will let you guys know how it goes next Saturday. So that is all from me. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for staying, and thank you for subscribing. That was me, xxotomi. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, obviously give it a like. I hope to hear you guys are resting a bit more, and even if you don't comment, just make sure that you keep note of it for yourself, and make sure that you're resting and you're taking care of yourself, because that's what's important, so you can keep going and continue creating the best version of yourself. So that's all from me. Bye bye.